Ksenia Evgenyevna, is it true that the human eye is a kind of receiver that can be tuned to perceive what happens on the subtle plane? Let me clarify. What happens on both the dense and the subtle planes is not perceived by the eye but by the brain. The eye captures information from the surrounding space, and the brain decodes it. The brain decodes this information based on the knowledge and recognition patterns that are already present in consciousness. These patterns exist in the mental body, the astral body, and the consciousness, and they are imprinted in the brain as neural connections organized in a specific way. So, if you want to train your consciousness to see the subtle plane, you must work not with the eyes, but with the brain. That is to say, you need to develop the brain. By the way, all our work in the school, all our exercises in the first main course, are aimed at training your brain so that these neural connections no longer function in a rigid and one-sided manner, in other words, in a way that follows the principle of this way and no other, as in the jokes about people with only one brain cell, who have only one neural connection. For example, from the stomach to the brain or to the throat. I'm hungry, so I swallow. In a developed consciousness, there are billions of such neural connections. In a magical consciousness, all these connections are balanced, meaning that no thing is better than another thing, and no connection is better than another connection. The more connections you have, the more patterns of recognition of the surrounding world you acquire. And some of these patterns will describe subtle reality to you. The moment these patterns appear in your consciousness, you will immediately begin to see aspects of the surrounding reality that correspond to these patterns. However, until you have such a pattern, the information is not loaded into your database. It's as if, for example, your computer receives a file in an unknown format, a kind of gibberish, and none of your programs can read gibberish. The file simply stays unpacked. The file exists, the knowledge is there, but you can't read it because gibberish is unreadable. But as soon as a program capable of reading that format appears, it will immediately process the file and describe the surrounding reality from that perspective. Therefore, the more such file readers, that is, neural connections, you have in your consciousness that describe then and now, 0 and 1, the more mechanisms you have for such recognition. This means your eyes have nothing to do with it. One could be completely blind and still see everything.